The special election comes at a pivotal time for the heavily Democratic 79th District, when federal COVID recovery money will now flow through the state to communities that desperately need it. Akila Weber is a doctor, La Mesa City Council member, and daughter of the woman she's now running to replace. She says she'll be up to the task of making sure these funds help a community that's hurting, because she's already working in government.
One of the things that is beneficial about being an elected official at this time is that I have already the relationships with the elected officials that actually govern these individual areas and these individual cities.
National City resident Leticia Munguia is a lifelong organizer in San Diego and has worked on behalf of a public employees union for the past 16 years. She thinks relationships at the community level will prove valuable to distributing much-needed resources immediately.
When I look at the short-term impact to small businesses, my approach is going to be being able to leverage public, federal, state resources to make sure that we provide immediate injection of relief to our small businesses where there's an opportunity to have them reopen their doors, that we're there to support them.
Aramik Glass-Blake is a criminal justice reform advocate whose previous run for public office was derailed by a cancer diagnosis. She wants to make sure that communities know how beneficial policies in both Washington and Sacramento are impacting them, and that they feel those impacts.
These communities never actually feel the policy changes. They never actually see the results of what was created for them to change and make their lives better. And I think we have to do a better job of really evaluating how we are implementing and building infrastructure to roll out these policies.
Two other candidates, middle school teacher Shane Parmalee and Republican Marco Contreras, are also running for the seat. Early voting began on March 8th, with the primary election concluding on April 6th. If no candidate wins a majority of votes, a runoff will be held on June 8th. Either way, the assembly member will have missed the bulk of an important legislative session and will need to get up to speed quickly. That's where Munguia believes she has an advantage, as already a veteran of what goes into deal-making in Sacramento.
I really feel that I'm prepared, I'm experienced, and I've been a champion for workers.
Weber says her immediate focus would be on helping improve public health through tackling long-standing social problems like school funding.
So when we talk about social determinants, we talk about things like closing the academic achievement gap, making sure that resources and funds are equitably distributed and money is able to be given to those who need more, so that schools, whatever school your child goes to, regardless of your zip code or the zip code of your home or the zip code of your school, that every child has an equal opportunity to create a healthy future.
While both Weber and Munguia have picked up coveted endorsements and financial support from local political leaders and labor organizations, Glass-Blake feels like her political outsider status will allow her to more directly serve the community.
I want to bypass all the politics within politics, because many times we, again, don't get that sustainable change because our politicians are bought and paid for.
Former Assembly member Dr. Shirley Weber passed a series of police reform bills, which won her accolades from across the country. Each candidate says they'll continue her work in their own way. For Dr. Akila Weber, the protests from over the spring and the riot in her hometown of La Mesa reminded her that social justice issues in the district must be continually listened to and addressed at the state level.
What we saw in May and June, the actions, it was not due to a single incident. It was due to years of people not being heard. It was due to years of people feeling marginalized and treated differently.
3 of the 4 Democratic candidates will participate in a forum on Wednesday evening focusing on gun violence in the district, organized by San Diegans for Gun Violence Prevention. The forum begins at 6 p.m. Max Rivlin-Nadler, KPBS News.